turn the music off. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the BTSL. You guys are joining us now for Season 5, what we're going to be referring to as a technical off-season. How are you? Wait a minute. There we go. How are you, Zombie Grub?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing just dandy. I got some sleep. I got to hang out with a friend yesterday. Pretty good times. Had too much sushi, however, and almost died on the way home just because walking was difficult. Went to all you can eat. Feels good, man. But also, you guys will notice there's something missing on my face, and just leave it alone because I'm fully aware how stupid I look without a beard.
You're missing your nose?
Oh yeah. You found I shaved to distract and hope that people would not notice that I was missing my nose. I lost it to an aunt in a "you stole my nose and never gave it back" contest. Do you miss America so much that you're just playing Yankee Doodle in the background? What's up? What's going on there?
Don't worry about that.
Is that the is that like the laundry or something? What is that? It's like, guys, I've been in Korea for like a week and I just miss America so much. I've been playing.
Yes, that was the laundry. I thought it would turn off by itself.
I've just been playing Yankee Doodle and the American National Anthem on loop 24/7 because I miss home so much.
Were these best of threes or best of fives?
Best of threes. So for those who don't know how we changed things up for the BTSL Season 5, let's talk about that. First and foremost, there's the prize pool. You guys can see that by actually looking down there. But also, you can add to it. There's 200 codes available. It starts off with $900, so even without anybody actually getting involved, that's like $1,100 in prizing. Straight up. We've stripped, quote-unquote, the weeklies. We're not doing it week by week right now. We're going to be doing it just as one conglomerate month because we have less time to cast, and we can't do the open cups the way we've done up to this point. So, we invited 8 people back based on previous seasons of BTSL. We had to kind of fudge a couple of the invites because not everyone could attend. But, for the most part, we have 2 groups of 4 players. These are going to be GSL-style groups, WCS-style groups, so, you know, there's the winner match, losers match, all that good stuff. You're going to be casting all of it. Then, icing on the cake here, we have a best-of-7 show match after today. So it's like a double day of casting with a lot of Koreans, and Byun versus Hero. I think it's going to be like super-duper hype. But, what's this? I got the BaseTradeTV shirt yesterday. So cool, but damn, it stinks. We'll need some washing. Yeah, all these new shirts you get, they always come like smelling like fresh off the glue press or something. You definitely have to give it a wash before you wear it. But yo, if you guys do get your shirts in, please tweet us. I love nothing more than seeing fans wearing our shirts, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's been pretty cool. I know a lot of people already tweeted at us. Are we ready to go?
Yes, ma'am.
Mom.
All right, so we got, like I said, 2 different matches back-to-back today. Both events are funded by Match Arena, and if you're a real go-getter, there's an !Yord, !JORD command. You guys can get in on that one, too. But, of course, we're focusing first and foremost here on the BTSL. Zombie, you've had a couple of days off. Welcome back to casting.
Yeah, it's been a lot. I'm actually really glad to be back. I'll get into that when we have some downtime, I suppose.
Oh, I thought that was full sarcasm, but that's interesting to hear.
No, I have been through a lot.
All right, well, we're going to get into game number 1. Of course, this is the preliminary match. There are 5 best of 3s in total for this group. And spawning in the bottom right, we have the blue Terran, GuMiho, who has just been out of his mind good lately. Holy guacamole.
Yeah, he's pretty good. In the top left, as the Red Protoss, he is Patience.
Okay, so before you get into whatever it is you want to dive into, I gotta say, I didn't get to watch GSL live, but of course I saw the Mombi-Rub Reddit thread, laughed, partially because, A, it's cool to see your mom and like Tasteless and Artosis acknowledging it. That's pretty nerd chills neat too. Like 3 years ago, did you think that would be happening, right? But then, on top of that, I love that, whatever for the comments in the thread, right? There's that one idiot. But I love that the arrow, the way you had angled it, actually looked like you were pointing at the Asian girl behind you and not your mom sitting next to you.
I didn't actually see that. That's funny. No, oh my god, those girls were so... I mean, I don't want to use the word annoying because what they were doing was good. But god, was it really annoying. Loud. Yes, they were the only people, first of all, cheering for Rogue. and like just all three of them as loud as possible right behind us in our ears, shouting every time his face came up on the screen, and everyone else cheered for Sue. So I kind of, I don't know, I found it really funny that she was like embarrassed.
Well, speaking of embarrassing, GuMiho's almost losing this SCV. I guess kind of forgot that shields regenerate and SCVs don't, unfortunately. One sharp turn and the probe gets the zap off. This SCV's gonna die. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
First blood.
Zappy zap zap. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. But yeah, did a lot of stuff. Went to Busan, which Busan's not my favorite city. Like, you know, it's like okay, but and it wasn't sunny either the time that we were there, so we didn't really go to the beach. And then we had to travel back, so it's just been a lot of traveling and then getting lost and walking a lot. So I'm done with walking.
Like 3 hours, by the way, guys, for those who don't know.
Yeah, it's 2.5. We actually had first class the first time, which is nicer, but like not that like big of a deal. So it was just like long, and today we just walked the Olympic Park, and that's long.
I was actually discussing this while I was solo casting about the whole Train to Busan thing. Not the movie, obviously, which was great, but the whole first class versus not first class thing. And it's just interesting the price difference of like Korean first class versus American train first class, even though it's essentially the same. But I'm really glad I took first class on the way back when I was going solo or whatever. And the little bit of extra space for someone of my stature, we'll say politely, made a big difference.
Yeah, well, that was like the biggest difference is that like I'm kind of like cramped a little with even my knees like tucked in when I'm in coach. So anyways, it's just been a lot of walking. I'm really just glad to sit down and get back to work, I guess, and be nerd on my computer.
I wonder, I'd have to dig it up. You would murder me if I showed it, of course, but I think I actually have that picture I took of you sleeping.
Oh, Jesus.
on the Busan.
Not the best sleeper. That was graceful looking sleeper.
Okay, GuMiho, of course, getting in with the Hellions is a little bit surprising, but the Reaper jukes out the Adepts, which is going to keep them down here instead of cleaning up the Hellions in the main as quickly. He will get a probe kill with that Reaper. Overcharge does get popped, and SimCity out of Patience actually works out really nicely.
This wasn't so bad, but GuMiho like wisely figured there would be.
I love this split. Cool I love Patience's like attention to counter split too. There's actually a lot going on for how little there is.
That was all pretty cool, but yeah, there was a immediate photon overcharge. GuMiho just really dodged out. So the Hellions didn't do as much as they would want. I mean, just piling on the aggression with more Widow Mines coming through here. You're not going to be expected to go through the middle of the map and into the natural, and then of course still going with at least one medevac for Widow Mine drops, which have like an extra 2 have been produced from that factory with the reactor, which is always a little weird to see. Also him, wait. That actually confused me. Yeah. The barracks going on the reactor instead of starting that stim up, but he wants to follow this all up with a tank push.
Well, denying mining is a good start. The Observer is out, of course, so you can see the Widow Mine. GuMiho aware this is going to walk the other one away. No, he's going to try and juke. You tricksy GuMiho, but Patience is Protoss.
He's got so many things flying around here that actually, like, I'd be surprised if Patience really doesn't take much damage at all. I mean, the Liberators cleaned up, the Widow Mines are cleaned up, the Hellions didn't do anything. This Widow Mine drop should be okay to deal with. He still has overcharges in the main base.
Well, so here's the thing for me, though, right? As failed as this may have been in terms of causing damage, and it has failed, if that medevac goes down especially, oh lord. This is not good. So, okay, let's classify it. Like, it's honestly good. This has been a big failure out of GuMiho in terms of attempting to cause damage, right? He really hasn't successfully harassed. He's going to lose expensive units. Yeah. But, that being said, he's so good at this matchup right now. There's this weird blind faith where I see these numbers not adding up for him. I see the resources lost down here being so one-sided for Patience. And I even know and respect Patience to be a good player. And I still sit here and go like, GuMiho's probably still in this. He's probably got a pretty good chance.
That's kind of like where I am right now too. Like, if this is like, I don't know, like Jockshi, because like the last guy I cast, right, it was doing this, I'd be like, well, I guess he just loses from here. Like, this is a really terrible start. But I think GuMiho has more tricks up his sleeve. But it is a bad start. Like, even with the likes of GuMiho here, it looks like Patience just predicts this spot too. So while he's not able to actually take it out, the pylon literally actually can't be killed by the siege tanks. I don't know if that was actually on purpose, but if it was, that's pretty cool.
I couldn't siege them, but it just... getting out of there is probably more worthwhile at this point. But I love the pylon being placed there. I mean, it's such a small detail, but that's kind of the key thing for Patience this game. Like, he split with the Hellions, he reacted to the Reaper. He's actually been doing so many cool, subtle things this game. And for me, it's just like, I guess I haven't seen Patience play very, very well. Like, he gets results, he wins here and there, but usually you're just kind of like, it's Protoss wins, it's a macro win, it's nothing special. But it really feels like he's on his toes versus GuMiho today. And I like it. I like seeing this kind of Patience.
I mean, this is something that I would expect if they were both playing the GSL, right? I'm just like, wow, Patience did his homework, and GuMiho can't rely on like his aggressive tricks anymore. But it may be Patience is like, maybe they're friends. I think they are friends actually. They were talking a lot to each other. But it just knows his play style and is always prepared for it.
So on that note too, by the way, I learned this Dream of Austin that blew me away. You remember how Patience and True would always have these really hilarious best of sevens and they chat back and forth and like whatever, like knock knock, let me in, things like that?
I remember, yeah.
Okay, so I bring this up with True. I'm like, so he basically stops me in the middle of me asking this question about friendship, and he says, no like. And I guess like him and Patience have never truly been like super good friends, and that chattiness doesn't mean anything. And
that's weird. I feel like he was kidding.
Some of the stuff said afterwards that I'm not going to repeat, I don't think was. But for me, I was like, really? Because like I would never talk in game. Like if I'm playing against someone I really don't like, I don't say a single word to him. I think like I don't tell him F you. I would just not say a single word to him personally.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like the fact that they were constantly talking in chat. It's more like it's like pretty rare to be like, no, actually you're wrong. Like I don't like that person. You're just like, yeah, we're just like we're not that good of friends. Like he's okay. Like usually you don't just like, nope, don't like him. So that's always a little weird, but. I don't know. I think there are actually some relationships like that in Europe as well, to be honest, where we see some of the less liked players still be, conversed with in what is still a simple enough manner.
These pylons look really out of place, but again, they're going to add some overcharge positioning that wouldn't normally be available. Tanks getting picked apart by the Stalkers. They're a little too close to the ledge. He wraps him with the bio, but not before the Stalkers pick off every single tank.
Well, the tank certainly did enough. I mean, that was actually really awkward engagement for Patience. The tanks are firing the Stalkers exactly what they wanted. While the Immortals are trying to target fire the tanks, they were dying to the Marine fire. Like there just wasn't enough combination there, and the Adepts died so quickly too. And GuMiho actually thought it's going to steamroll, despite what was a really terrible aggressive opener.
It's GuMiho for you. I actually, the disruptor choice I don't like a lot coming out of Patience behind this. That's putting all your eggs in one basket and then some, but I think removing the Liberators increases your chance of making these disruptors work better, but it's just too much. There's just no way to get a hit on all of the bio. GG. Actually, not to criticize Patience just too much here, but one thing I was really curious about was the not charge. As I guess I did cast the whole Korean thing without you, and like every single TvP was charge lots, more charge lots, and then of course all the ZVPs also charge lots, more charge lots. Like they're in fashion right now.
She's so hot right now. I don't know about that. It is a little weird. I mean, people have definitely gone away from Phoenix Adepts, which was dominating for a very long time, and that I'm like not surprised not to see. But certainly, Charge seems to have been the replacement more than the Blink Stalker. Like this is a regular opener. It was a Blink Stalker macro opener with a quick enough third base and a good denial and all the aggression, but just didn't. I don't want to say they didn't have a good army, but I felt like it was just a very awkward engagement.
I think he must have. There's this degree of like cockiness too that may come into play for Patience, right? Where, you shut down like 6 waves of aggression, and not only did you shut it down, you slammed it down, right? So you just assume your opponent's not really got much behind it.
Yeah.
I bring up the topic of charge lots because, well, yes, it is still like new to the patch, and people are playing around with the timings that revolve around the 100 upgrade. I think that we can go whenever, by the way. I think that I really like the idea of charge lots and Archons or charge lots and Storms coming back into fashion, at least forcing Terran players to go Ghost Tech, and you start seeing a little bit more dynamic play. Because right now it seems to be A, map dependent for this too, but B, like a little bit more about siege tanks.
Well, Ascension to Ire. I mean, you could actually do the same thing. Odyssey and Ascension Ire are some very similar qualities, but we'll see. I feel like Patience is the one that's actually going to mix things up here. He can all in, after all. He is just as cheesy as everyone else.
Well, this guy's actually been super duper cheesy lately, and he killed it in GSL. He's been doing all sorts of weird stuff, but managed to win game number 1. In the top left, we do have the red Terran player GuMiho playing for Storm Gaming.
In the bottom right is the blue Protoss. It is Patience.
I know that's like the early game, so it's like one of those few times like a supply block, be it briefly for a second, is totally acceptable. But it's really odd transferring over to the camera and seeing Patience supply block. It made me actually go like, what?
Well, every Protoss is supply blocked in the beginning, right?
Yeah, I'm just saying, especially with the addition, I guess Chrono Boost 2 doesn't help, right? But I just meant like, you go over and you're like, huh, so supply block already?
I always wonder why that was. I mean, I figured that they just didn't care enough in Brood War. Basically, they're just like, everything else fails. I'm not going to try and fix Protoss pylon timing to accommodate for
that's the trade-off though, right? You gotta eat a little bit of a supply block, but your assimilators have twice the health of everything else.
Oh man, yeah, that's true. I actually wanted to do a video on that, but surprisingly, I feel like this has just been lost in time. There was a time where the assimilators didn't have as much health or shield. I forget which one.
Yeah,
and I'm like, did I
was
imagine this?
I think it was the Terran all-ins were causing a lot of trouble with
yeah, it was
gas or something.
Yeah, well, like a big part of it was also the Reaper grenades. Like Reaper grenades were killing hatcheries, but they were also like if you rushed them against the Protoss.
By the way, for those who have like not been around StarCraft in a while, we're talking like KD8 charges, like back in the day when the Reaper auto attack would blow up buildings.
Yeah. So they had like 2 attacks against structures and against units. Yeah. So their base attack against structures would just be like amazing.
And the same topic too, it doesn't really get discussed either, but Ultra's losing their bonus versus buildings too. Like they're already bad against SimCity, but then they lost the one thing that would open up the SimCity.
Yeah, exactly. But I felt like I was taking crazy pills. I was like trying to look up this very specific thing. I was like literally Googling this exact line, and they were just like, and no one was bringing it up. Like people had like threads like, why there's so much health? And I was like, well, someone has to have the right answer. Like it hasn't been lost in time, has it? And no one would respond with their grenades. They're just like, well, because you can repair refineries and extractors gain health, then it makes sense that they have more health. And I was like, that. I mean, yeah, but that isn't the reason.
Well, 2 things real quick. First off, just to note, it is Stargate play this time, so Patience changing it up. GuMiho not, still same things as before. But secondly, I like to imagine this like I don't know if anyone's ever seen this episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where Charlie's in the mailroom and he's going crazy thinking like there's a conspiracy going on. I just imagine Zombie Grub like same thing, tattered shirt, loose tie, cigarette hanging out of her mouth, like going crazy. Am I taking crazy pills?
That's really what it felt like, man. Whatever.
Oh, fuck. Nexikuro, I hate you so much. I'm gonna anti-shout that out and let Zombie Grub get the shout out.
I feel like when Rifkin says he's allergic to you being Bit Boss. 1,000 bits, but it hurts so good. 1,000 more bits.
I love that he uses the new one too. Have you seen the PJ Salt 10,000?
No.
It's like just unlimited salt. You got to look at the preview for it for some time, but yeah, we discovered while you were gone that it's because he's the Bit Boss. That's when my allergies started kicking in, and I've been begging people to kill him. So we finally got like some damage into him, and now he heals himself up. That bastard.
I saw. Yeah, that's true. Well, thank you for the bits, and I believe you also resubbed, so thank you for that too.
Double love, Nexikuro. Thanks, dude.
Yeah. So the Phoenix play, I said that maybe the Patience could mix things up and actually all in or something like that. And he definitely could. Patience has certainly had his weeks where he just actually all he did was all in. But this is still a response, I feel, to that last game. But, you know, he dealt with the Medivacs and the Liberators fine last game. That's not exactly what the Phoenixes were. But if there's a tank follow-up, the Phoenixes can help lift those up. And the Mass Adepts will obviously be even more in mass and a little more helpful. But despite going for a Phoenix opener, just not in position, a little too late to the Phoenixes, and loses quite a few. But in exchange, he got 2 Oracles. So GuMiho's losing quite a few SCVs.
Oh, that was a nice Widowmine pick-off. Didn't see that one behind the barracks, and neither did Patience. But that being said, yeah, the worker count's already stinging here a bit, to say the least.
11 SCVs dead to 4. Liberator was cleaned up finally, and that seems to be worthwhile, getting that second Oracle. It died, but he still has the one for Revelation too, so that's actually quite nice.
And very last second shots on that Adept actually kill it. It was like mid-transfer when it died. That looked really weird.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the Liberator, though, while it might be a little bit surprising, there's pylon set up in a perfect triangle. There's Phoenix roaming around the map. GuMiho's not going to be able to repay that damage, not the way he wants to.
No, not a Liberator, that's for sure. Changing up his build a little bit. He still opened up with the Hellion and the 4 Widow Mines and at least 1 Liberator, actually 2 this time. But the point is, he didn't actually bother going for tanks. Like, he didn't see his opponent going for Blink or a regular Gateway opener, so he just skips it.
Did he find the one, like literally 1 pixel that he could actually have set that Liberator up in?
Yes, he did.
That's actually amazing.
Oh man, the soccer even gets chewed up for it. Phoenix finally pops out. I mean, he has 5 of them.
Well, not anymore.
4 of them.
Yeah.
They're not helping his, like, he had a much better defense actually versus like triple Medivac Liberator Widowmine walkthrough this game, where really only was the 2 Liberators and he was supposed to have Phoenixes for it. That's bizarre.
I'm really glad that there's enough people chatting out my Pepe reference from It's Always Sunny. That's without a doubt, it's still one of my favorite shows on TV. But anyways, the attack down the middle of the map looks weird. Like, this doesn't come with a medevac. It doesn't come with any sort of support. Like, that's what the Phoenixes are there to do. They remove all of that from the equation. But it has Widow Mines. It's got a hell of a lot of Marines. And yeah, they're already heavily stimmed, but if they've got the damage to kill everything else on the field, who cares?
Yeah. I mean, this is way before even... Not even like a little before, but like way before Patience is ready for an attack.
There's Widow Mines.
He doesn't have his gateways. He doesn't have his +1. He doesn't have his resonating glaives. The Widow Mines do wonders against the Adept, and even trading out for all the Phoenixes would have been nice for the Marines.
I actually, you know what? I think even just taking the Phoenix count as low as he had was really sick. For GuMiho, you'll note he keeps an army supply lead, and for Patience, when you play Adept styles, excuse me, because back in the day this would be like Colossus and other things behind it, the same problem still persists where you're not going to have a lot of actual army supply. And the Phoenix help, like, they're super cost effective, so they help with that. But not having enough Phoenix, you can't be cost effective with 2 to 3 Phoenix. That's not going to happen.
He
One
lost
Phoenix?
his other Oracle?
Oh, God.
What? When did that happen? Well, that sucks. Yeah, he's going to take out the Widow Mines in Revelation.
6 Adepts. That's it. GuMiho's just broken Patience in half here, I feel.
Yeah. That's it. GG.
That was a really quick first series of the day, but GuMiho is a beast at this matchup. I mean, we were not over-exaggerating when we said this earlier. There's no overextending of his prowess. He is actually just so good. And even before the balance changes, like, he was rocking this matchup. That's what I think for me sticks out the most. You're like, this is a guy who, when Adepts had more health than they currently do, and other things were better. Like, he's been so good at this matchup for so long. But the next matchup is going to be Scarlet and Stats. Scarlet is online and here, but Stats is currently AFK. He may have expected that series to go a little bit longer. But we'll go to a break. We'll come back. We'll get caught up with Zombie Grub on Korea, see if there's any cool stories or anything like that. We'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. Thank you for joining us here for the BTSL. We'll be back soon.